KPBS On Demand is supported by UC San Diego's Art Power, presenting cellist Joshua Roman, performing from his album Immunity, alongside music by J.S. Bach and more, Sunday, June 22nd at UC San Diego's Epstein Family Amphitheater. Reserve your tickets at artpower.ucsd.edu.
Welcome to the KPBS Summer Music Series.
In constant sorrow through his...
In this episode, we talk to one of San Diego's finest bluegrass bands, Prairie Sky. They join us for a special in-studio performance.
And a constant sorrow, I see trouble on my...
Plus,
So now you've gone before us.
sibling duo Finnegan Blue is rooted in traditional folk but play by their own rules, blending bluegrass, gospel, and second-line jazz with the punk rock edge.
In a good word.
That's next.
The big man in the sky.
When I first woke up that morning, Mom said a boy had died. Someone put a hole into his heart, didn't make it through the night.
KPBS On Demand is supported by UC San Diego's Art Power, presenting cellist Joshua Roman, performing from his album Immunity, alongside music by J.S. Bach and more, Sunday, June 22nd at UC San Diego's Epstein Family Amphitheater. Reserve your tickets at artpower.ucsd.edu.
Welcome to the KPBS Summer Music Series, San Diego's own music discovery podcast that features encore presentations of our best in-studio performances and interviews, celebrating our diverse music scene and beyond. I'm your host, Kurt Kohnen. The high-energy folk band Finnegan Blue blends rock, bluegrass, Celtic music, and New Orleans second-line jazz for a truly unique sound. Headed by brother and sister musicians Anna Lee and Willie Fleming, Finnegan Blue combines strong vocals and driving rhythms that make for exciting live performances. And while some of their songs sound like they've been passed down through the ages, their music is all original. Finnegan Blue talks with Midday Edition's Maureen Cavanaugh. But let's begin with their song, Come Follow Me.
Well, she's the only one I ever wanted. Prettiest thing I've ever seen. Her eyes shine brighter than the stars at midnight. Her hair runs wild as the wind runs free. Yeah.
Let's run through the woods so green with trees, swim down a river till it opens free.
I don't know where the hell we'll end up. Take my hand and follow me. Hey.
He's the only one I ever wanted, and I fell for him so easily.
Soul's on fire like a desert sun.
Intrepid like a ship at sea.
Yeah, let's
Run through the woods so green with trees, swim down the river till it opens free.
I don't know where the hell we'll end up. Take my hand and follow me. Come follow me, come follow me, yeah. Come follow me, yeah.
To the mountains high. Oh, let's go. Run through the woods.
Joining me are Anna Lee Fleming, who plays guitar, trombone, and also provides vocals, and Willie Fleming, who plays mandolin, trombone, and vocals. Welcome to you both. Thank you for being here.
Hi.
Hi, thank you for having us.
Now, you've got a whole stage full of musicians in this band, so who else is in Finnegan Blue?
Yes, we also have our dad, Bill Fleming, is the electric guitar player. We have Oscar Beckman on the bass. We have Kevin Higuchi on the drums and Malcolm Jones on saxophone.
You know, you guys have an incredible range of musical influences, of songs. How did you both learn music? Let me start with you, Annalie.
Yeah, so that question definitely jogged a memory, and that was that when I was younger, when I was maybe in second grade, I told my parents I wanted a Game Boy. And for Christmas, I got a guitar. It was kind of like, what is this? But, looking back, that's where it all started. I got a guitar. They knew that music would be something that we should try and could be interested in. And of course, we just took off from there. My dad gave me guitar lessons, middle school through high school. And anytime we're around, he's still giving me lessons all the time. And then I picked up the trombone later in college, actually. So it's never too late to learn a new instrument.
Yeah, we were super lucky to have musical parents. Definitely the Irish music started with hearing my dad play in the Irish pubs with those trad groups. So those tunes really stuck with us. My mom is an amazing singer. She's very, very soulful. So we have that type of influence. My dad also rips blues guitar really well. So there's your blues and your Irish. And then in high school, we joined the marching band. So now we have these other instruments, trombones. The music that felt like it fit the best was just sort of what we also ended up gravitating towards, which was the second line style, New Orleans style.
Well, Anna, tell us about the song Elegy.
Yes, Elegy I wrote in 2010 after my grandmother had passed, but a couple of our members had lost significant people in their lives. So each verse is about that particular person. Including Willie here, lost a friend that year. And so Elegy was, I would say, the first song that I was really proud of. And we started to form the group around that a long time ago. And then when Rye Whiskey, when I wrote that one, that's when the band was officially solidified.
Well, here's another selection from the incredibly versatile band Finnegan Blue. It's called Elegy.
It's been 2 years since I've seen you, and I remember saying goodbye.
Goodbye.
I promised that I'd see you soon, but you knew it was the last time. As I held you in that red box, said goodnight, sweetheart, goodnight. When the voices sang Amazing Grace, the tears stream from my eyes. So now you've gone before us, and you're closer to him than I. Please put in a good word with the big man in the sky.
When I first woke up that morning, Mom said a boy had died. Someone put a hole into his heart, didn't make it through the night. My heart sank for his family, but then I suddenly went white. 'Cause when I heard his name, Lord, it hit me hard. That boy was a friend of mine.
That was Elegy by Finnegan Blue. Now, Annalee, you mentioned your dad is part of the band. Is that how you both got into music in the first place?
Yes, both of our parents are musicians. In fact, on Elegy, my mom is also singing some backup vocals, and my uncle John is playing the piano. It was important for us to have, to pull in all the family resources, just as some roots on the album. But yeah, our parents were musicians. They toured the country when they were younger than us, and they fostered that throughout our childhood, and now we play music as well.
What kind of music did they play?
Gosh, they did a duo or a trio set. They did a lot of original music as well, but they did a lot of bluegrass, a lot of country. What else would you say?
Well, they said that when they hit Texas, they didn't have a lot of country repertoire. So the place that they were staying was like, they let them go into the DJ booth at the time. You couldn't just Google it. So they spent, all day listening to the hottest country songs and just learning those. And then they played those in the bar later that night and the place went nuts. But yeah, my dad played Irish music growing up in the Irish pub. So we kind of got to sneak in backstage from a young age. And we play a lot of those same tunes today.
Willie, what was fun about having musicians as parents?
Oh my gosh, so fun.
Yeah, just, that's kind of what we got to do. Like it's natural for us. Like it's sort of like when you're a little kid and you get a dog, like everything's awesome. So you're like, cool, yeah, dog, whatever. But now in my adulthood, I realize how valuable it was to have parents that were also artists. And, basically like whenever my dad would have a show, Annalie and I would crash the stage and just go sing with him, because we were like, well, what are we sitting around here for? Dad's up there. So it was just something that we gravitated to naturally as well. And then when they saw that we enjoyed it, they encouraged it.
And Annalie, do you remember how old you were when you first jumped up on that stage to perform with them?
Gosh, that's a great question. There's pictures of me before I remember. I must have been 3 years old. I think when I could stand is when they let me get on stage.
Yeah.
Did you two play music together too when you were growing up?
Yeah, we did. We formed our first band. Was that the local Palookas?
Yes, we did a little punk band when I was in middle school, and Willie was in third grade.
Middle school punk band. We would always be playing in the talent shows and stuff too growing up. So before we even really had formed a band, we would just pull a couple of the, other students and play a Beatles song or something like that for the talent show. So yeah, we definitely have been playing music together for our whole lives.
In 2015 is when Finnegan Blue was officially formed, and that's been the main project.
And I want to hear about the story behind the song Rye Whiskey. I know there's got to be one.
I was listening to a lot of the Punch Brothers, and my brother's a big fan of Chris Thile.
Mandolin player, you got to be, Chris Thile.
And he had a song, Rye Whiskey. I hadn't listened to it, but I read the title, and then in my head, I just heard Rye Whiskey, and I just made sure I put the pen to paper and guitar in my hand and finished the song, because I knew it was going to be a good one. So that's how that song came out. And it's all very true. It's all, sometimes you just need a good drink to get you through the day.
Indeed, that's true. Let's hear Finnegan Blue's Rye Whiskey. That was the song Rye Whiskey from Finnegan Blue. They say that there's nothing like sibling harmonies. Do you find that to be the case with you two?
Yeah, we call them blood harmonies. When you lock in to a harmony, especially with a family member, it almost hurts your ears. It's like,
in a good way.
Yeah, the vocal cords are built the same way, so they just make this vibration in the air that's like, whoa, really rattles your head.
Now, Annie, you play folk music, including Irish music and bluegrass, but a big part of your live show is second line jazz, where you both bring the trombones out. Where did that inspiration come from?
We grew up in the marching bands. My big experience in marching band was with the SDSU Aztec band. Willie was in it as well, and that's how we met our saxophone player, Malcolm Jones. And, just towards the end of our sets, we wanted to make sure that our show was as awesome as possible, and we gave it a try. We played some songs, and they went over super well, and we decided to run with it.
The New Orleans second line feel, it mixes really well with a folk music style. It's a more true to the original form of jazz. I'm not going to say that it is the original form, but it's kind of similar to folk music in that way, where it's very much an old style of playing. So a lot of that same emotion translates through all those styles of music. So it just made sense. Yeah, we have the instruments. We got to fill up some time. Let's bust them out.
Yeah, surprisingly, it made a lot of sense in the set.
Now, you're known for getting your audience up on their feet and dancing, being a great live band. Willie, what is that energy like when the house starts to rock?
That's what it's all about right there. Yeah, we try to play music and take the listener on a journey, take the people that are out in the audience, take them for a ride, for a little adventure. We spend so much of our day sitting down, driving to places, sitting down for work on the computers, this and that. So we kind of feel that it's important specifically to encourage the audience to get up and dance. And then once they do, people are officially having a really good time when they're just cutting loose and feeling free on the dance floor. And then we get to have a nice exchange of energy. When we're really pouring it out on stage, if there is no one dancing, it's okay. But you really feel it bounce back when you're able to get the audience dancing and moving. The energy is reciprocated, and then all of a sudden you're just in this little cycle of awesome energy in the room. So we like to keep that going as much as possible.
That's Keep the Ball Rolling by Finnegan Blue. Annalie, you can really hear it in that. You carry forward the spirit of celebrating life, like second line, parade, getting up and dancing. What's it been like to get back out and play before people after just being shut in for so long with the pandemic?
I mean, simply said, it just feels really good to be able to get out, perform for people, see people smiling, having a good time, coming to your show. And I just remember, thanking people at our last show. We thanked everyone for being there. And at the end, a lot of people thanked us for coming out and playing. And it is an amazing feeling of reciprocation when the audience and the artists really have that understanding that we're here to have a good time. We went through something pretty rough. Everybody did. Everybody experienced some sort of hardship during the pandemic. And it feels good to put that aside for, a musical hour and to just enjoy being around people again. Has felt simply amazing.
Willie, did you feel like it was going to take some time to get back up to speed after not playing in front of people for so long?
Sure. Well, our shows out in New York really pleasantly surprised me, because I felt like we were just back in the old days. Like everyone was just kind of ready to move forward. And in New York, especially, we love playing out there because they have such brutal seasons compared to out here in San Diego that in the summertime, they're really, really ready to party. So they don't hold back. So now add that on top of the pandemic that we had. And that's why I said before that it was chaos. It wasn't chaos, but it was just, everybody was fully ready. Nobody was holding back, dancing, singing along, a total celebration of life for everybody, just taking the time to appreciate the moment that we're in right now, because you never know when a freaking global pandemic is going to hit, apparently. So everyone, I think, is just kind of soaking it in.
Well, I want to thank you so much for joining us. It's been such fun listening to this music. I've been speaking with Anna-Lee and Willie Fleming of Finnegan Blue. Thank you both.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Maureen.
We're so lucky to be on talking with you today.
Coming up next, San Diego bluegrass band Prairie Sky performs live in the KPBS studio.
KPBS On Demand is supported by UC San Diego's Art Power, presenting cellist Joshua Roman, performing from his album Immunity, alongside music by J.S. Bach and more, Sunday, June 22nd at UC San Diego's Epstein Family Amphitheater. Reserve your tickets at artpower.ucsd.edu.
Welcome back to the KPBS Summer Music Series. Palm trees, surfboards, and Mexican food don't exactly conjure up images of Appalachia and dueling banjos. But if you look hard enough, you'll find a thriving bluegrass scene right here in our backyard. Prairie Sky is a talented bluegrass band from San Diego. They sat down with Midday Edition's Maureen Cavanaugh to talk about the bluegrass scene and give us a special in-studio performance. Here's Prairie Sky performing Don't You Hear Jerusalem Moan.
Well, I got a home on the other shore. Don't you hear Jerusalem moan? I know I'll live there forevermore. Don't you hear Jerusalem moan? Don't you hear Jerusalem moan? Don't you hear Jerusalem moan? Well, thank God there's a heaven and a ringing in my soul, and my soul set free. Don't you hear Jerusalem moan? Well, my sister Mary, she wears a chain. Don't you hear Jerusalem moan? And on every link is a Jesus name. Don't you hear Jerusalem moan? Don't you hear Jerusalem moan? Don't you hear Jerusalem moan? Well, thank God there's a heaven and a ringing in my soul, and my soul set free. Don't you hear Jerusalem moan? Well, the devil wears a hypocrite shoe. Don't you hear Jerusalem moan? You don't watch out, he gonna step on you. Don't you hear Jerusalem moan? Don't you hear Jerusalem moan? Don't you hear Jerusalem moan? Well, thank God there's a heaven and a ringing in my soul, and my soul set free. Don't you hear Jerusalem moan? Now the Methodist preacher is a mighty fine man. Don't you hear Jerusalem moan? Showing us a way to the promised land. Don't you hear Jerusalem moan? Don't you hear Jerusalem moan? Don't you hear Jerusalem moan? Well, thank God there's a heaven and a ringing in my soul, and my soul set free. Don't you hear Jerusalem moan? Don't you hear Jerusalem moan? Don't you hear Jerusalem moan? Well, thank God there's a heaven and a ringing in my soul, and my soul set free. Don't you hear Jerusalem moan?
Prairie Sky is Ramona Alt on guitar and vocals, Dwight Warden on upright bass and vocals, Avery Ellisman on mandolin, fiddle and vocals, Jeff Smith on guitar and vocals. Thanks for joining us for Midday Edition.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, we're happy to be here.
Now, did Prairie Sky begin right here in San Diego, Jeff?
Yes, it did. And what year, 2010?
Yeah. Well, we've been together for 10 years, and believe it or not, we actually all still like each other. We all met in the local bluegrass scene. There's a San Diego Bluegrass Society and jam sessions and get-togethers, and pretty much that's how we met.
Now, you know, bluegrass musicians are among the best string players in the world. How do you learn how to play this? How did you learn how to play, Avery?
The tradition for bluegrass music is basically an oral tradition by ear. For example, the fiddle was an easy instrument to carry, so it was ubiquitous, played in lots of different countries, but a lot of the people were not schooled, even educated enough to read, and certainly not necessarily ability to read music. So we basically learned, one person to the other, learned the tunes. And one of the joys of playing it by ear is that you start to improvise on the theme, and you're encouraged to improvise in this kind of music.
So, Jeff, you just sort of pick it up?
It depends. You're asking me, and I don't feel like I've ever picked it up. So,
and we kind of agree, actually.
I'm in this band. I'd focus more on singing and strumming more than being an outstanding bluegrass picker. Because those guys, you're right, they're incredible, and they spent their whole life, playing bluegrass.
And Ramona, what about you? What is your affinity with picking up the singing style and the music of bluegrass?
The singer that I remember being turned on by is Joan Baez. She was playing a lot of the Carter family bluegrass, the beginnings of bluegrass. She's the one that I fell in love with and wanted to learn guitar because I heard Joan Baez.
Now, you're going to play another song for us right now, and it's called The Fiddler. Avery, what's the song about?
I was influenced by and moved by some older people who I saw playing the fiddle. It was as if their years were irrelevant, and they could have just as easily been 16 as opposed to 86. So it's kind of my way of calling attention to the beauty of music and how it cuts across the ages.
Here's Prairie Sky with their song, The Fiddler. That was Prairie Sky performing The Fiddler. Thank you once again. Really, really nice. So, Dwight, you were telling me about the way that the bluegrass community in San Diego gets together. Tell me more about that. How big is the community here?
It's surprisingly big. I think the reason is there are a lot of immigrants, people who came here from Appalachia and brought the music with them. And there's a very active nonprofit scene of specifically promoting bluegrass and activities. And Avery runs a fiddle camp. So basically every week there's 2 or 3 bluegrass events that you can participate in going on somewhere in San Diego.
So Avery, tell us more about the Julian family fiddle camp. What can you tell us about that?
We're going into our 9th year. It's called the Julian Family Fiddle Camp. We have about 100 people who come for a 4.5-day period in April up in Julian. And the community's wrapped its arms around it, and it's become quite a popular event. We have great instructors who come in. And because the quality of the camp and the experience is so good, we have 2-3 generations of people who come to spend that extended weekend to learn music, to dance, and enjoy the beauty of what music provides us.
You're going to perform one more song for us. What's that going to be?
It's going to be Man of Constant Sorrow from the movie Oh Brother, Where Art Thou with George Clooney.
Well, I want to thank you before you start. Prairie Sky, thanks for stopping by our summer music series today. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we've had fun.
In constant sorrow through his day, I am a man of constant sorrow. I see trouble all my day. I bid farewell to old Kentucky, the place where I was born and raised. The place where he was born and raised. And for 6 long years, yeah, I've been in trouble. No pleasure here on earth I found. For in this world, yeah, I'm bound to ramble. I have no friends to help me now. He has no friends to help him now. It's fare thee well, yeah, my old true lover. I never expect to see you again. For I'm bound to ride that northern railroad. Perhaps I'll die upon this train. Perhaps you'll die upon this train. And you can bury me in some deep dark valley for many years where I may lay. And you may learn to love another while I am sleeping in my grave. While he is sleeping in his grave.
Thanks for listening to the KPBS Summer Music Series. John Decker is Interim Associate General Manager of Content, Lisa Jane Morissette, Operations Manager, and Megan Burke is Senior Producer. To catch a new episode every 2 weeks, subscribe wherever you get podcasts. And for performance videos and more great artists, visit kpbs.org/Summer Music Series. I'm Kurt Kohnen.
Be your friend. I think I'm just a stranger. My face you never see no more. But there is one promise that is even. I'll meet you on God's golden shore. He'll meet you on God's golden shore. He'll meet you on God's golden shore.
KPBS On Demand is supported by UC San Diego's Art Power, presenting cellist Joshua Roman, performing from his album Immunity, alongside music by J.S. Bach and more, Sunday, June 22nd at UC San Diego's Epstein Family Amphitheater. Reserve your tickets at artpower.ucsd.edu.